Yaps. It's in the name.
Twitch community member Harish asked Al Rod what his thoughts on the tariffs being imposed to the world. Little did he know our boy would go on a generational yapping session.
My idea on the 90-day pause on the tariff, I think, is exactly what the whole plan was the entire time. I don't think these tariffs were ever meant to be like long term. I don't think the tariffs on against the United States or even towards the United States are going to be long term. Whenever you hear tariff, just think of negotiations because it's causing pressure financially on another country, and in terms of like America to those countries, we were tariffing. We would charge them 10% to send something into the country or to come in, but they were charging us 100% to go in. So I don't like the word that Trump has been using, to be honest, about like reciprocal tariffs. It really should say proportional tariffs. Like, hey, if you're going to tax us or tariff us a lot, we're going to tariff you a lot. And then let's go to the table and talk about how can we make this deal better, because it's expensive for you, it's expensive for me. How can we work together on this? Why do you think the guy that declared bankruptcy 4 times has some big plan? His only plan is filling his pockets. Um, okay, so a couple different things. One, if you've ever read The Art of the New Deal, he is following the blueprint of the book that he read. You start out with an extreme position. You say things crazily so that you say like inflammatory things so that the opposition really doesn't know where you're at, right? No one really understands what you're doing, and you're having this crazy take. So this is like good working way, good leg room for you to negotiate and go back and forth with. And ultimately, if you're the one making the deal, you want the better end of that. So it kind of makes sense that Trump is kind of leveraging these deals to be America favored, right? It makes sense. He is our president. We do want that. And then you come together and make a deal. So he's literally just following the blueprint of the Art of the New Deal. And then how could you say a man with bankruptcy 4 times who wants to line his pockets? That's every businessman though. Every high level businessman has had failures, has had success, and they want to line their pockets. It's kind of what that thing is what kind of got them to where they're at. You know what I mean? So that's my thoughts on that. And the calculation is wrong. His calculation boils down to trade deficits. I mean, Asura, to be honest, when it comes to these people who are telling me they're experts, kind of just like in the medical field, if someone's putting on a white coat and saying they're the expert, they know everything. In today's day and age, with technology and AI being implemented and updates and new ways of thinking and better, more efficient ways are being done, they're not being caught up on it. They're human. There's only so much that they can do. That I don't believe him when they say the calculations are wrong. He's just going off deficits. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's just trying to line his pockets. He's failed 4 times in the past. Like, sure, but he's succeeded 12 times, right? Like, I think those people who made those calculations are wrong. Just like when the election was going on and you saw these polls and the polls were like neck and neck, and it obviously was not. I don't trust any of those. Like, it's gotten to the point where I have to see the source, and then I have to come to my own conclusion because I think they're baiting us and just lying to us. That's my thought. Do you think that was market manipulation? Hell yeah, get a job day 3 of my training. Nice, Josh. Nice. Do I think it was market manipulation? I actually do think Trump kind of manipulated the markets with his tweet saying, yo, now is a good time to buy. And then a few hours later, shit went surging. I think that's market manipulation. And I don't know. We're in a really weird time where the president basically gave his green light, like a green thumb to pump and dumps and crypto, market manipulation in stocks. I do think that this is what a lot of people have signed up for. I do think this is like that voted for Trump. This is a lot of people understood that we are in such an inflated area that we're going to have to, like a fat person gets in shape, there's going to be a period of uncomfortability, and it's the worst at the beginning, right? Like when you want to get in shape, the first few weeks are always the hardest. Your body's aching. You don't have the habits and the rituals to kind of make fitness a part of your daily life. You're trying to make it a part. So there's like a push or a pull to it. And you're like, oh, I got to do it. But you're not being pulled to it yet. It takes a few weeks, maybe even a few months for you to get the habit down, to where everything feels right, and you're like, yo, I need to go do this. I need to be better. I got my conditioning down, and it's just all. It's a series of time, a series of escalation of it becoming something greater than what it was. And I'm saying being in shape, confident in yourself is greater than being fat, out of shape, and wearing a fake mask. I think that's where my head's at. Okay. So if I buy $10 worth of stuff from you and you buy 25 chocolate, then I could say you are charging me 150% on tariffs. That's not at all like that's not what it's saying. A better analogy for that, to be honest, is to say, hey, I'm gonna give you $10. I want to ship in $10 of chocolate to your store. You're charging me 2%, or vice versa. I'm gonna do this the opposite way. You're sending $10 of chocolate into my store. I charge you 5%, so it's $15 in the store. You sell it for 10, I make 5. We're both making money there. However, when I want to send my same exact $10 of chocolate to your store, you're charging 50%. So now, or 100%. So instead of it being $10, now it's $20. And granted, we're both making 10, but it's making the cost of being able to do business in your shop way too high. That's really what it is. The 145% tariffs on China with a Y. That's crazy, right? That's like, there's not too many countries in the world that have the purchasing power, that have the buying power, that just buy useless shit like Americans do, right? When it comes to using disposable income, we do it like nobody else. We do it like nobody else. And the other country that's kind of comparable to us is, well, China. So now they're kind of forced to have to buy their own shit, right? And I'm still going to say this. I'm still shooting it like a 3 from the back. I think America is working on building better relationships with other countries like India. My amigos over in India, which, pause on that, put a little pin. Last night I went out to Atlanta partying, getting the dance, showing low that your boy still got them moves. You know what I'm saying? We went to a bar that might as well have been Little India. And I was fucking there for it. I wanted to pull out my phone and like do like a little recording real quick and just be like, and type it in the Discord and be like, look guys, I'm in Little India. But I didn't want the people who were there to be like, why is this dude filming us? Like, I didn't want okay, unpin. But I think we're trying to make better relationships with countries like India who are already the pharmaceutical hub of the world, who have great manufacturing and distribution, and they're going to continue to grow and build on that. And that's a growing economy with a growing population. And I don't know how much of this is just brainwashed propaganda that I got, but I think that China's civilization, their age is just, the average person is old. No one's making babies. No one's going in and making sweet, sweet love and popping out kids. So I'm genuinely curious to see what's going to happen to, China's population in the next decade. Now, granted, I say that with just a little bit of doubt because, and I know this is kind of crazy to say, but if over here in America, there's a company called Colossus that cloned 2 dire wolves, made some woolly mammoth mice, like some crazy, crazy stuff, right? And he's saying that, hey, in America, we're never, or at least this company, we're not going to do human stuff, but alluded that China was doing it. So China literally, I think, is working on ways to literally test tube the population so they don't go extinct. That's my thoughts on this. What do you guys think about that? Like, that's actually kind of crazy.
A primary target that we can find. Okay?
Our currency is getting devalued, which leads to your products being more affordable in other countries, so increasing your exports is kind of a better medicine. But I doubt the orange fuck had any good intentions. I think his intentions. I don't think there needs to be necessarily be good or bad intentions, right? It's about being. It's not about being right. It's not about being wrong. It's just about being effective for America. And I don't think these tariffs are going to be forever tariffs. I don't even see them lasting to the end of this year, to be honest. I don't even see them lasting to the end of summer. I think by July and August, Donald's going to have everyone's feathers ruffled in another area, and the tariffs issue will be solved. If anything, the thing that I'm genuinely worried about, like, just to show that you guys, like, I voted Trump. I'm a big Trump fan. And support a lot of the people that he has around him. But this man did like kind of campaign on no wars and no killing, yet we're bombing the fuck out of the Houthis, clipping it like it's a Twitch stream, sharing it to the world, and like, oh look, the Houthis were trying to, line up today and have a meeting. Boom. Guess not, motherfuckers. Like, that doesn't seem anti-war. You know what I mean? And granted, I am someone who's like, okay, walk softly but carry a big stick, and if someone pushes you, you got to defend yourself. So I'm not like necessarily opposed to that, but wow. You see the conflict on that? Also, going back to the wolf breeding, that's not a dire wolf. It's just a normal wolf with a few dire wolf features. It's a marketing gimmick. A lot of episode exposed videos on that. You know what? And I probably should watch one and react to one because I thought that podcast was truly fascinating. So when I would listen to the podcast on Joe Rogan, like I'm sure many other people heard it for the first time, it seemed like they developed a womb, like an actual womb. They put genes in that womb and grew out a dire wolf. But from what it seems like is they took a normal wolf, like as a surrogate mother, like over in humans, how you could just put your sperm in somebody else's, womb, and then they carry and deliver the baby. That's what it seems like. So if that's the case, it's not a dire wolf, which is actually kind of frustrating. But if it's the way that I interpreted it as they literally like if I had this cup of coffee, they made their own cup, right? Their own womb, like they synthetically made their own womb and then filled it up with dire wolf genes and then waited 9 months and out came a dire wolf. A whore ass wolf it must have been. How do you like Asura? Yo, that was great. That's gonna be a YouTube video. So hey, say hi to YouTube. All right, hold on. I want to lock back in for this.
Yes, huge.
This is huge. Some sources say that the Houthi meeting was not really a terrorist meeting, but a daily meeting with villagers doing prayer. Yeah, but I don't know if you've seen what we and once more, I don't know what's propaganda or not, right? Like we could just been shown this like a very similar circle, but apparently, the United States like White House, like the actual White House shared like high resolution pictures of like the backs of some of the people, not showing the faces. So that's why I'm like, and granted, the video you couldn't see their faces anyways. But apparently, there was a lot of RPGs and AK-47s. So I don't know what kind of daily meeting requires you to bring RPGs and AK-47s, but it's like that. That could have been a circle with people having that, but a different time at a different day. So I'm like, that's where it should be. I don't want war, right? And apparently with the Houthis, we had an agreement. We had diplomacy with them where they weren't bombing our ships. We weren't blowing them the fuck up. And we were allowing our ships to go through the Red Sea because that's ultimately where the conflict of this situation is happening. But somewhere along the line, and I don't know who broke the deal. I'm very open to America breaking down a diplomacy deal and kind of forcing a hand somewhere with Donald Trump's presidency, his administration, with being so erratic and chaotic. I think it's intentional erraticity and chaotic. I think it's intentional. And sometimes with that, you're going to have oopsies. And I think this may have been one of those oopsies where a line was crossed. The Houthis felt like we weren't living up to our own side of the table, so they started blowing our shit up again. And then we said, well, if you're going to blow up our shit, we're just going to blow you up. Like, America's the number one global power for a reason, and I think we have become fat, out-of-shape athletes who now are being motivated to get in shape and show our dominance and supremacy again. That's kind of my thoughts. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, then please like the video, subscribe, and if you really like it, then share it with some of your friends. My goal here is to spread a positive message while sprinkling my 2 cents on big topics like American, Indian, and world geopolitics, and even small stuff like Twitch drama and online debacles. And if you want to see it live, come join me over on Twitch, twitch.tv/ActuallyElrod. That's where I'm going to do all my reactions, and after the reactions, that's where we get down a game. And if you're like, hey, I have a video that I want this dude to sprinkle his 2 cents on, then come over on my Discord and let me know and join the community there. And while we're at it, I have to say thank you to everybody who has made that Discord just so poppin'. I never thought I'd have a Discord that's so flowing. It's really cool to see. Shout out to you, Bobby, Omni, Demon, all of you who have been in there who are just super active. Logie, you're the man. Logie is the one who's like modding and helping run the server, so thank you, Logie. Lastly, I challenge you. I have a challenge for you. Make somebody laugh today. We all know there's enough hate and vitriol in the world. If energy is contagious like the flu, then let's spread and get everyone contagious with our positive energy, right? Not negative energy, because there's so much of that. And if we could just be a small little change in someone's day, then you never know. Maybe that's the thing that starts shifting this world to a happier, healthier, just better place. And with all of that said and done, thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.